Stop! You violated the law.
Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to Robot Reviews. Today we will be covering the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion, specifically the remastered version. So it seems Bethesda has gone down the Resident Evil path of making bad games and then redeeming themselves by remastering their classics. I was very excited for this remastered since I maybe put an hour into the original, so I was pretty much going into this game brand spanking new. But man, did I put some time into this game. So I am pretty excited to get into this video, so how about we get started? I will be breaking this video into 4 sections, so please make yourself comfortable, get yourself something to eat, relax, and enjoy Robots Review. Oblivion starts with you being able to create your own character. You can do as far as create the width and height of your own nose so you can imagine the amount of creativity on the table. And you would be surprised, but maybe not to see what others have made their characters look like on the internet. But I have decided to put actually too much time into my character, and I did not regret a single second of it. This is my character. His name is Nipples. I just thought he looked like a Nipples to me, so we're rocking with it. You can also choose things like their race and origins. This is cool because it adds to a lot of ways to play the game, and allows for you to feel as connected as you can to your character. After making your player, you then realize you are in jail. I don't know what we did to get here, but you don't have much time to ponder about it, because this emperor who looks like Robert De Niro comes into your cell and tells you that he has been dreaming about you. That's pretty fucking cool. The father from A Bronx Tale has been having wet dreams about my man Nipples. He then tells you about his dead sons and that they are now after him. And now the guards escort you and the Emperor out of your cell from a secret door that was directly in your cell. Didn't want to leave this early. The guy across from me was really friendly.
You're going to die in here, Imperial. You're going to die.
After this, the knights are attacked, and the Emperor informs you of his last son who is still alive. He gives you the Amulet of Kings and tells you to locate Joffrey, who can tell you where his son is. After dumping all of this shit on your plate, he is killed by an assassin. You find out that these assassins work under a cult known as the Mythic Dawn, who worship their god known as Lord Dagon. Lord Dagon's plan is to open up Oblivion gates all around the world known as Cyrodiil, and you then escape the prison and are now introduced to Cyrodiil and all of its much more enhanced glory. You then locate Joffrey and find out that the Emperor's last son is a priest named Martin, who is located in a town known as Kvatch. Once going to this town to find Martin and inform him about his dead dad, you bump into your very first Oblivion gate. Once closing this gate, you find Martin, who looks nothing like the son from A Bronx Tale, so I don't see the connection. Anywho, you escort him to Waynon Priory and inform him that his dad was the Emperor, which he had no idea of. Then you shoot his happiness down by immediately informing him that he's got a knife in his neck. From here on out, Martin helps you take back Cyrodiil by gathering allies and closing the main Oblivion gates. Once doing this, Lord Dagon comes to take what he wants, and Martin uses the Amulet of Kings on himself by transforming into this and dealing with Lord Dagon. Cyrodiil is saved from the Mythic Dawn and Lord Dagon, but Martin has sacrificed himself in this process. You are then now remembered as the hero of all, and the game ends. A typical short and decent story like all Bethesda games. This story did come with some fun quests like the Dagon Shrine quest, where you must infiltrate the Mythic's Dawn secret base by pretending to join the cult. The only things about these quests that felt stale were the Oblivion gates. There are a ton of Oblivion gates in the game, and you have to close several gates in the game. The best way to describe the Oblivion gates is like watching Season 1 of The Walking Dead. You are in awe of it, and you can't wait to watch the next season. Then you get to Season 9 and you say fuck it and skip through the season to the important parts so you're caught up. They just get really stale. And once doing your first Oblivion gate, you've pretty much seen what all of them have to offer. I mean, my first Oblivion gate was sick. The portal looked so intense, and once I entered it, I was like, holy shit, this place is crazy. But after doing around 3, I just got bored of it, and I just ended up not even exploring around. I just jumped all the way up and rushed through the towers to close them because they just got repetitive. The story wasn't anything superb, but it wasn't a bad story. I liked the whole Oblivion versus Cyrodiil crisis. It did really feel like Lord Dagon was taking over with the Oblivion gates, especially with how intense they made the gates look. There weren't really many interesting characters that I felt attached to besides Martin maybe. Even him doesn't really stand out. He's just some ordinary guy to me. But again, I do not think it is a bad story at all. Honestly, it might be the best story from all the Bethesda games I played. When it comes to gameplay, this game has a lot to offer. You can play this game in a lot of ways and add a lot of creativity. You can lean more towards using magic, a bow user, or you can just run in there and slam everybody's head with the biggest weapon you got. The game also has a skill leveling up system. Every time you level up, the game gives you the opportunity to level up 3 out of 8 attributes. I think this adds a cool level of role-playing to the game and makes you decide what attribute is more important to put your points towards. The only thing I do not like about it is that you need to rest to level up. I just find it slightly annoying and don't understand why you can't just choose your attributes as soon as you level up. But this isn't anything serious, just a slight inconvenience. They are also skills you can level up, and there are a ton. There are skills towards magic, hand-to-hand combat, armor, repairing your equipment, speechcraft, and a ton more. I mean, if you level up your acrobatics all the way, you can literally jump on water. That's pretty sick. While I do like this, and I really like how much more it improves your skills, when it comes to you actually leveling them up, you're usually just spamming whatever you have to level up. For instance, healing myself, then waiting an hour and doing it again. I actually don't hate this at all. I like that it is this easy to level up everything funny enough, but I just don't know if that is what they intended. But who knows? Like I said, I like this. One thing I do not like, and is easily the biggest problem with this game, is that it is just generally an extremely shitty running game. It actually boggles me and pisses me off so much that a game can come out in 2025 and can have this many bugs and errors with this game. When it comes to the bugs where NPCS are just stupid, I love that. It adds that level of charm to this game, and I know the developers kept it because it brought the charm people loved in the original. But when your game was originally released in 2006 and still has this amount of bugs, then it is a problem. My game should not crash 20 times. Yes, 20 times through my playthrough. My game should not stutter every 10 seconds whenever I am simply walking around. And holy hell, there are some parts where the game is just unplayable and just stops me from wanting to play anymore. For instance, in the very last quest of the Shivering Isles storyline, there is a boss fight directly outside the palace, and every time he spawned in, my game crashed. So I had to go to Reddit because Google didn't give me any help, and I tried to see what the fuck was going on. Oh, by the way, I can't tell you how many times I had to go to Reddit because these quests had bugs where I literally couldn't complete the quests. So when I tried to start up my save file again, it would immediately crash. I then find out that I need to start my game a few save files earlier so my game won't crash. I see that turning off autosave might help, so I try that, but my game still crashes. So I then find out that the reason it crashes is because when it spawns in, and if you are hitting him close, the game can't actually handle it, so it crashes. How fucking pathetic is that? So what I had to do is go 100 feet away from him and spam my bow at him for like 5 minutes while hiding behind this pillar. Really just takes away the combat to the boss fight. Even other parts of the game, like when I was doing the Dagon Shrine quest, the one I just talked about me liking. Well, what I didn't like was when I went outside, my game crashed. Also, just to explain, I don't have footage of the actual blue screen through my PS5 because I was literally recording with the PS5 recording ability, and when it crashed, my recording would crash too. Which, you know, just added an even more level of frustration with the game. Listen, I know Bethesda has been releasing games with this type of shitty bugs for 20 years, and it was okay back in 2006. Hell, maybe it was okay back in 2011. But guys, it is 2025. Playing games should not force me to go to Reddit and try to figure out how to play the game I spent $70 on without it crashing. I don't want this video to be an hour long of me just shitting on Bethesda because I love their games, but they should not be running this poorly still. I would recommend watching this video by Nakey Jakey because he explains the annoyance of Bethesda's lazy game engines much better than my dumb robot ass. But besides the extremely annoying and frustrating bugs, I really enjoy the gameplay and how many ways it allows you to play the game how you want to. The game encourages you to play however you want, which allows for great replaying ability. That definitely took some time, so how about we get into the setting of the game? The game of Oblivion is massive and has a ton of content to offer to the player. There are a total of 9 major cities to see with a shit ton of things like caves and settlements. All of these things you can encounter have a good amount of content hidden under it. Everywhere you go in this game, it feels like another 20 minutes of fun content. The fast traveling system is interesting. Being able to fast travel to every location you discover makes things a lot easier and less tedious much later in the game. But the one problem I do have with it is that as soon as you are done with the tutorial and step out of the sewers, you can fast travel to all cities. This defeats the purpose of discovering the world and bumping into really cool stuff. Not necessarily a big issue, but still something that bothered me. But this world looks so much better than it did back in 2006. I don't want to really focus on the differences between the original and remastered, since this is supposed to be a review on Oblivion as a game, but I really dig the art style for this game. I feel like they went for a more cartoonish art style for this game, and it fits the fantasy type of game it is. I prefer this art style more than Skyrim by a mile. I just believe this art style will age much better than games that go for a super realistic art style, so thumbs up for what they did here. And this game is littered with all sorts of NPCs that all stand out from each other. When you step into the Imperial City, which is where you'll most likely spend most of your time in, it feels so populated. This is a great thing because it adds a level of excitement. Do they sometimes take away from the immersion when they do stupid glitchy shit? Yes, but there is also an unspoken charm that comes with it, and has been there since 2006.
But I ain't got nothing to say to you, Fancy Pants, so why don't you mind your own business, eh?
Beautiful, isn't she?
All of these characters have unique dialogue and quests for you to do. They can also have different dialogue to say to you, depending on if you are a Nord or Imperial. Yes, the game has like the same 5 voice actors for all of these characters, but that's not really an issue. These NPCs also have their own strict schedule and all go to specific locations depending on the specific time and day. They talk to other NPCs and even go to places like inns. It can be goofy sometimes because they just kind of spit out random shit and always interrupt each other.
The divine avenger.
Your actions also determine if they will like you or not. The persuasion minigame is a bit controversial in the community, but I truly don't mind it. It is kind of hard to understand at first, but once you do, it really isn't that bad at all. There are so many stores to purchase unique items and guilds to help out. And there's a whole new world you go to as well, something we will cover later. The world and characters just pop of bright colors, and it makes the whole experience of the game much more enjoyable. It adds that needed level of fantasy and immersion. I know we already discussed it, but when it comes to the setting of the Oblivion gates, they are really cool. It truly feels like you are entering a whole new world, especially for the first time going through one. And they look so fucking cool before entering them. I love that you can see what's in the portal before entering it. I also love that random encounters can happen, like this dude robbing you, or bumping into this creepy fuck right outside the Imperial City who tries to sell you things like lockpicks. There is so much to do in the world of Oblivion, and every city feels so fleshed out and full of content. And the art style is just that cherry on top that really puts everything together. And I didn't even get to talk about the soundtrack. I wouldn't say it is as good as other fantasy games like Elden Ring or Skyrim, but I still like the soundtrack of this game. I do get tired of hearing the same old track whenever I walk into a cave, but besides that, it pulls you into this world. I am a huge fan when it comes to the world of Oblivion and all the random NCPs you can talk to. This game made me want to explore every nook and cranny of the game. I think I spent enough time talking about the setting and characters, so let's move on towards the combat and enemies. Talking about the combat in this game is going to be tough because, to be honest, the combat in this game is pretty bland. It is not interactive at all. The combat boils down to you either stealth arching everybody, running up to someone and hitting them over and over with your weapons, or using spells. Don't get me wrong, you can still do things like block and have to look out for your stamina, but at the same time, you really don't need to. Even when you have no stamina left, you can still hit enemies. So the combat is pretty stale. I like how many ways there are to fight in this game. Hell, you could just beat the shit out enemies like fucking George Foreman if you really wanted to. I guess it doesn't deserve too much props because it is an action RPG game, but either way there are a good amount of ways of deciding your combat preference in this game. Bethesda never had outstanding combat in any of their titles, but they got away in it because it wasn't really their focus point. But in this game, you are always going to have to kill something, so the combat can get repetitive and boring. On the other hand, you can come across different armor sets and weapons. They can kind of feel forgettable, but you definitely get a connection with them when you find your favorite weapon and armor set. Weapons can also have all different types of enhancement, which make them stand out even more. There are also rings you can wear that can fortify certain buffs. Hell, some of them literally allow you to walk on fucking water. Now, when it comes to the bosses in the game, they are disappointing. It is not that they are bad, which might be confusing if I just said they are disappointing. It is that there are like maybe 3 actual bosses in the whole game. There is Lord Dagon at the very end of the game, and the 2 other bosses in the Shivering Isles side quest and the Knights of the Nine side quest. Oblivion does this in most of their games when it comes to lacking boss fights, and it always bothered me. I know they wouldn't reach much potential because of their lackluster combat, but either way, there are a certain number of enemies you can counter in the game. You got enemies like skeletons, zombies, ogres, and bandits. You even got random NPCS you can encounter in combat. And I am going to take this moment to talk about the wanted system. Oblivion has guards everywhere, and you can commit crimes that have consequences. If you get caught, you have 3 options that are either doing the time, giving them your money and stolen goods, or resisting. And when resisting, there is a chance that the guards won't stop following you no matter how far away you run, or even if you pay off the fine. What makes this even worse is that you cannot fast travel anywhere if there are enemies nearby. Even if there are no guards in sight, there is still a chance they are somehow following you, and it makes traversing and doing quests so tedious. So the combat and bosses are very middle of the road. But man, the guards can really get in the way with traversing and quests in the most annoying way. Speaking of the quests in Oblivion, so I might have spent most of this video bringing up flaws in this game, but guys, I love this game. And what made me love this game was because how fucking amazing and incredible the quests were in this game. I actually do not know where to start because this game genuinely has a numerous amount of quality quests. Let's start off with the guilds and arenas. There are 4 main guilds that you can do in this game. There is the Thieves Guild, Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, and the Dark Brotherhood. But let's start off with the arena. The arena is a very simple quest where you rank up by fighting people. You get money every fight you win. You fight a good amount of randoms until you get to fight the Grand Champion. The Grand Champion is the Grey Prince who is undefeated, but there is actually a whole different quest with this guy. When talking to him, he tells you about the origins of his family and that he doesn't know his father at all. This starts the origins of the Grey Prince. You go to where his father hides and finds out that he was a vampire. You break this news to him, and he is emotionally shattered to find out that he is not that son of a noble, but he is the son of a bloodthirsty vampire. Damn, well now I feel really bad. What makes you feel even worse about it is that when you fight him, he will not fight back and pleads for you to kill him. This is some heartbreaking shit. Hey, whatever, we're fucking Grand Champion now, and now we got a fan. The Adoring Fan is one of the most infamous parts of Oblivion for many reasons. The Adoring Fan pops up right outside of the arena as soon as you become Grand Champion and pretty much just dick rides you and also will ask to follow you around. A lot of people find him annoying, but I really did not. He can be very fucking stupid and just get in the way at moments. But it didn't bother me because I could just beat my sword over his head and kill him if he did ever get under my skin. Also, you can become a nobleman and gamble at the arena. You can either bet on blue or gold before watching and watch the fights yourself. And the people up here are very joyful.
Blue team, I hope. Be seeing you.
Now with the 4 guilds, the Mages and Fighters Guild were a bit forgettable to me considering all the quests are just killing enemies. But I will say that one of the last quests in the Fighters Guild was very memorable. Oh yeah, I should add that all these guilds have several quests in them and add so much freaking content to the game. Anywho, one of the last quests for the guild you will do is called Infiltration. You need to find out about the Blackwood Company and see what their intentions are. You go there to pretend to join it and they send you on a mission with 3 others. Before you do though, they tell you that you need to drink a heist sap that they give you. Once you drink it, you pass out and wake up at the water's edge where there are goblins everywhere that you must kill. Once you do, you wake up back in Modron's shack and tell him what happened. You start kind of picking up that you were probably hallucinating those goblins. You go back there and you realize what you did, dear God. Now, the 2 other guilds are the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, which I both love. These 2 are amazing quest lines that are absolutely worth your time. If I had to pick between these 2, I would probably give the edge to the Dark Brotherhood because the quests are just that good and that unique. But man, one thing I love about the Thieves Guild is that you actually need to steal things to progress in the quest. You need to reach a certain goal by selling certain people in the guild's stolen items. So what most people do is break into the nearest house, usually when they are sleeping at night, and sneak around and steal a bunch of shit. I love this because first of all, you are doing this while trying to not wake the person in the house up, and it actually makes you steal and gives you a reason to. And all of these quests involve stealing, but I really like them because you have to be stealthy for most of them and you can't just go in there and kill everybody and take what you want. You need to not get caught and not kill anybody. And if you finish the whole quest, you become the Gray Fox, who is the leader of this whole guild. And you get his mask, which pretty much makes you invincible. Guards won't recognize you if you take it off before they talk to you, and you kinda can't get caught when stealing. But man, let's talk about the Dark Brotherhood. Before you even join, you need to kill somebody who is not an enemy, and you see this on your screen. You might be asking, who did I kill? Me and the Adoring Fan were just fooling around, you know.
Twice you hit me!
I actually came across this on accident, and when I went back to bed and saw this creepy fuck. These quests involve killing innocent people, and later down the road, this quest line gets pretty damn creepy and a little disturbing. All of these quests are so fucking fun and enjoyable, but I can't go over all of, but there is one I have to go over because it is my favorite quest in the game, and maybe one of the best quests I have experienced in a game. The quest I am talking about is Whodunit. You are tasked to go to a mansion party in Skingrad and kill all 5 members there without anyone finding out you are the killer. Oh my god, this quest was so much fun. What made it so fun was how oblivious these motherfuckers were. I told this chick my intentions from the beginning,
Oh, you're a funny one. Good. I'm glad one of us has a sense of...
It gets to the point where they start pointing fingers at each other and might even kill the other guest if there are only 2 people left. This quest was just so fucking funny and so damn fun at the same time. I had a blast with this quest and it was just so memorable. I will for sure be looking forward to this quest the next time I play Oblivion. Hell, there is another quest where you must kill everybody in the Dark Brotherhood who you have been working with. There would be nothing that made it stick out if it weren't for the best thing in the game. Poisoned apples. These things are amazing, and you can literally put them in front of NPCS for them to eat or smuggle them in their pockets. The results are just freaking incredible.
Oh! Ah! Sitters, save me!
I am going to do you a favor and let you know about this spot where 10 poisoned apples spawn in every 72 in-game hours, so just come back here every time and stock up, folks. But these are not even close to being the only memorable quests in the game. I am only going to go over a couple more quests that really stuck out because this video will feel like a fucking Pink Floyd intro if I named all my favorite quests. An unexpected voyage was a bat out of hell. If you end up going to the nice little inn in the Imperial City and sleeping in there, you will wake up to pirates taking over the ship and taking it in the middle of the ocean with the intent to find a treasure they were told of. You then free the hostages and make your way to the captain of the crew. You can either fight her or let her know how fucking badass you are and that you killed her whole crew. She then realizes that it would be foolish to fight you and surrenders. This quest was so unique because you most likely will just bump into this out of nowhere, and it quite literally becomes an unexpected voyage. Another quest that really stood out was where spirits have lease. You find this guy selling this house in Anvil for dirt cheap. You decide to buy it. You find it a bit weird how he is not willing to disclose anything after that, but whatever it was, only 4,000 gold. So you go in and find it to be extremely messy, but you decide to go to bed. You then wake up to spirits out of nowhere and quickly find out that this place is haunted. You go back to the guy to tell him, why the fuck did you sell a haunted house to me? And he informs you that his necromancer ancestor died there and used to perform dark rituals there. You go into the basement and he helps you open this wall where you find his remains. You go in, try to help him, and he comes to life to try to kill you. After killing him, the house becomes much nicer and much less haunted. This was another quest that I just bumped into and was utterly shocked when I found spirits in my shitty, humble abode. But the last quest I wanted to talk about was so fucking good and was one I literally watched tons of videos about after. The quest I am talking about is a shadow over Hackdirt. You talk to this woman in Coral who informs you that her daughter was supposed to deliver something to a town called Hackdirt and went missing. You go there and see how beat down this place is. You also encounter how straight up rude and threatening the people of Hackdirt are towards you. Some of them even follow you into stores. One of these creepy fucks followed me back to a whole ass different town when I fast traveled there. This place is just incredibly creepy and makes you feel very uncomfortable. You then find where her daughter is and find these even creepier fucks down here who try to kill you. They also do this scary ass sniffing sound around you. You then free her and bring her back to her mother. This place was so fucking creepy and unsettling that I literally watched tons of YouTube videos about the lore of it. And there were so many different encounters that I didn't even get to experience. Man, the writing into these quests are just incredible and just so fun to actually play. And not even that, there are so many ways to go around these quests. The RPG mechanics are great. For example, for one of the quests I had to get information off of this guy, but he wouldn't tell me anything. But then I played the personality wheel game and got it high enough where he liked me enough to tell me. That felt amazing to find out for like playing the game for an hour and a half. Listen, don't get me wrong, there are some bad quests in this game like Go Fish, where you just fucking look for fish. Or the quest where your companion walks so slow. Or even when you have a quest with NPC and get themselves killed. Yeah, that shit is pretty annoying. But man, the quality of these quests are amazing. And I didn't even talk about the Shivering Isles. Since this is a remaster, they put the original DLC in the game for free, so I will cover it. Shivering Isles is pretty much a whole new map with a whole new storyline. It has Sheogorath, who is just an insane funny prick. Yes, this did have that buggy-ass quest, but besides that, this whole part had some memorial parts and even has its own side quest in it, like this guy who tells him to kill you. Like I said, this barely scratches the surface with great quests in the game. I think you can tell how much I like the quests in this game. They are that incredible and are the star of Oblivion. Oblivion was genuinely an amazing experience, and I had so much fun with the game. I know I spent a lot of time shitting on it, and for good reason, because a game in 2025 should not have a fucking tank full of bugs. But besides that, I honestly had so much fun with this game and put so many hours into it. I feel weird rating it because should I rate it in the state it is at now? Because what if it gets its cyberpunk moment where it gets patched and it becomes just flawless? And to be fair, it did come out with a patch. For the last 10 hours I was playing the game and my game did not crash. This game was genuinely amazing. With the world, content, NPCs, and the absolutely amazing quests. I would recommend this game to any fantasy fan, and Oblivion is easily one of the best Bethesda games I have experienced. Maybe even neck and neck with my favorite, but I just cannot ignore the insane amount of bugs in the game. No matter how much I got used to it, there should be no way where a game is remastered and still has moments where it makes it feel like a chore to play. I hear rumors and how it is pretty much confirmed that they will be remastering Fallout 3, so I will tell Bethesda this. Do not fuck it up and give it a remaster where there isn't a shit amount of bugs. But again, guys, Oblivion was amazing. I probably sound insane going back and forth like this, and maybe I am a little, but this game was great. Thank you everybody for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. My final score for The Elder Scrolls Oblivion is an 8.9 out of 10.